Yes, you read that right. In this video, I'm going to set off 10 traps without dying while setting them off. To increase my urgency to triggering these traps early in the game, I set a restriction that I cannot pick up a machine gun until I trigger all 10 traps. I'm less experienced with the E11 than the machine gun, so this will be a bit interesting for me to try. Additionally, I must board the shuttle for it to be counted as a win. For this first attempt, I'm going to use Protonopia, which is a visual setting that lights up the traps in the huts. If I somehow die during this round or don't board the shuttle, then I'm going to lose this privilege and I'll have to trigger one more trap before I can get a machine gun during the next attempt. Normally when I hear an Ewok in Ewok Hunt, I want to go for the kill right away. If they blow the horn, I'm a bit more cautious. But I'd also like to mention that I'm not very experienced with the E11. Most of my experience is with machine guns, so I'm just trying to finish this challenge as fast as I can, and then I can get a machine gun. I almost completed the challenge and see what has other plans for me. You might have heard a brief swoosh and then a growl. That was the Ewok just barely missing me with his spear. While waiting for the Ewok to come out and attack me, I realized the 10th trap's right there. Time to get a machine gun. The Ewok's dead.
Bombs ready!
When you see this icon, listen for Ewoks, as a trooper's voice line is being activated by a nearby Ewok. I added these icons to the video. I'm looking around right now because I'd heard 2 horns and I only heard 1 Ewok die. So this Ewok is somewhere over here, maybe waiting for one of us to make a mistake.
The shuttle's making progress toward our location.
I love melee kills as a trooper. Those of you that saw my early warning system video, you already know what I'm talking about with the voice lines. For those of you that haven't seen that video, Ewok Hunt has over a dozen voice lines that the trooper will automatically say when there's Ewok nearby, and a lot of these times the voice line will trigger before the Ewok appears on the minimap, or the voice line will activate right as the Ewok appears on the minimap. While I focus on how to be the best trooper you can in this game mode, I do like to make note when Ewoks perform very good strategies or tactics. As you see, this Ewok wispied us right after we triggered the trap. Had one of us actually been hit by the trap, this would have dealt additional damage or likely killed us. Since that trooper died, I'm gonna head to water because I believe that's where the other troopers are. But the Ewok still saw me running over there. Haha, missed me. Missed again. I thought there was only 3 Ewoks at the time because I heard the 3 wispies, but there turned out to be more. Yeah, so I was overconfident there. This is where me being anti-cave came back to bite me. I should have went into the cave rather than stayed out there. It would have been easier to manage this Ewoks and I probably wouldn't have lost any health.
Keep it together. Won't be long now.
What I'm doing here is doing something that I typically do towards the end of the round, or when I have lower health, is I'll look around, and I'm trying to go dark right now, so I don't have my light on looking around. I'm doing this to listen for Ewoks that are moving towards me, but sometimes they can still sneak up on me. Well, this is about the worst case scenario. I get double wispied with barely any health, and I believe there's at least 3 Ewoks behind me. I'll still try and board, but it might not be enough.
Grenade out!
Finally, I got the Ewoks behind me, but that won't stop them from trying. Yeah, that round really pulled on my heartstrings at the end. I really thought I had it until those last 2 wispies. When I saw I had 11 health, I knew it was pretty much over, because it just one hit at that point. So, because I didn't accomplish the challenge by boarding as well, I'm going to try it again. But because I didn't accomplish it the first time, I'm going to add 2 more constraints to make it even harder for me. Now I have to trigger 11 traps, and I have to turn off Protonopia, so I have to actually look for the traps without them being lit up. It's always great when Ewoks announce their position by blowing the horn or throwing the wispies. Since I didn't board the shuttle my last attempt, I have to trigger 1 more trap before I can get a machine gun. Since completing triggering the 11 traps this round, I completed that part of the challenge. However, I still can't use Protonopia, so I have to keep an eye out for traps so I don't run into them. I ran this direction to try to hear the second Ewok, but now I'm realizing that I left the other troopers alone. If you replay to the moment just before I turn on my light, you can briefly see the Ewok running up there. I'm about to hear an Ewok and melee him, but it doesn't quite go as expected.
Grenade out!
I got super disoriented after that first melee, but luckily the Ewok was disoriented too, so it worked out.
Hang tight, shuttle's on its way.
Now that we're down to only 2 troopers, I have to make sure the other trooper stays alive, otherwise the shuttle won't come. There is a glitch sometimes that shortly after the second to last trooper dies, the game will tell you something like make way to extraction or get to the shuttle, and no landing location appears, but it's still possible to board the shuttle. I made a video on this a few weeks ago. I'll leave a link in the description.
Oh no, it's a trap.
While the Ewoks outnumber us 4-2, we have to be a bit more careful, especially now since I've pulled out a lot of my tricks that I use, so the Ewoks might be a bit more cautious and try to catch us off guard. Ewok spawns at this late in the game can be a bit unpredictable because while they can spawn right on us, they can also spawn really far away, but just because we don't instantly hear the Ewoks soon doesn't mean that they spawned all the way across the map. They could be watching us and waiting for an opportunity.
We're getting signals from the shuttle.
I'm realizing I left the other guy alone with 2 other Ewoks.
Oh no, it's a trap.
There is an unspoken code amongst many of my friends that I play this game mode with when the Ewok emotes and the trooper emotes that we don't attack each other. I don't know if this Ewok's one of those.
Oh no, it's a trap.
Any Ewok that can still land their Wispies on me with my light off, I get a bit more worried, thinking they're more of an experienced Ewoks. That's why here you see me moving around a lot and looking around, because I'm thinking this guy's stalking me. And this is why you don't wait to board the shuttle. Thank you for watching. This has been Tempered Courage. Good hunting.